Ahoy there shipmates, and welcome to the channel. Well, as you know, Vanguard has had a massive great big buff in every shape way. She's lost some of their reload boosters, but what they have done overall, the reload has gone down. Now, there's many different ways you can set it all up, and I'm just going to go through a few of my builds. Now, a lot of people out there prefer the American ships because they say they hit harder and whatever, but think of the Vanguard as being an E-type Jaguar and the Ira class, the American ships, as being muscle cars. Vanguard will now turn like a E-type Jaguar, very quick, very removable. Okay, she hasn't got the weight of shot as the American ships, the big punch, but when you go slugging shells at every 16.4 seconds, yes, you heard me, 16.4 seconds as opposed to 30 seconds, and a rudder shift of around about between 6 and 7 seconds. Which ship are you going to likely to take out, folks? Well, let's go with a few numbers for you. Now, they're using Scharnhorst, yeah, because we are going to for that little bit of extra shell dispersion. Parlo de Revel, because what does he do then? Well, he gives you minus 5.5 on your on your guns. Excuse me for coughing. Flammable Cannoneer. Then we use gyrated drill bits, and this is downside of drill bits, it slows your ship down, but everything has a trade-off. Now you can either go with this one here on second thought, which is now going to bring your reload down any further, even better with Pollard Revel, but there's also a trade-off there. The ship is not as accurate by a long way, so I tend to go with Reformer. Master Mechanic for obvious reasons, and then you go and fight fire, right? That's my one preset. Now what's that do for the numbers? Let's have a look, shall we? We won't go into that. Right, so now we got a reload of 17.4 seconds. Absolutely phenomenal. Let's check that is correct. No, sorry, put in the wrong reset. 16.4 seconds. Sorry folks, I had it in the wrong preset. So 16.4 seconds reload with a range of 20 kilometers. Yeah, a lot better than the Ira and a lot of American ships out there. AP 13,000, nothing's new there. Fire setting chances, and this is that's all box standard. We haven't improved any of that, so that's not. Well, I say it hasn't improved. It's improved on the last update because it was 42%, but you can improve on that with Alfuso, but we'll go over that shortly. But this is where it gets juicy. 7.3 rudder shift on a battleship. Yes, you heard it correctly. 7.3. Now, if you end up sticking a commander in for that, you could also reduce that again, because one of my setups I used in Baltimore, and you get that down to 6 seconds with rudder shift. So that's one way of doing it. Let's go in Earth no way with the same commander, shall we? Now the other way of how I do it is specking into the HC. If you've got Alfuso commander, you can go with that, and it's going to increase your fire system chances. Using the same thing again with Scharnhorst. And you can either go with speed as my armor. Now a lot of people say we don't have a speed boost. No, you don't. Absolutely correct. But what it will do will increase your overall speed to the ship, and hopefully cancel this out here to a certain degree with the gigantic drill bits. So, but you are taking a chance then because you're not having the fight fire. So I recommend either one of those or that one. So what does that do to the figures? Well, let's get into it. Main battery. So everything's going to stay the same all the way up to there. Oh, hang on. Excuse me, begging me pardon. Stop setting into presets. So we've gone up on the reload by about a second. We were 16.4, now it's 17.4. Not going to make a big difference. But this is where it gets juicy. 47% chances of setting fires. Now, if you use the same setup as this on Conqueror or the Thunderer, nice and juicy, folks, as that fire setting chance goes right up. So what are we going to have for preset? No, that's not going to be right there. Okay, let's get out of that one. Now we'll show you another way of doing it. Nelson. Now what is Nelson going to do to you? So same again. It's exactly the same setup as the previous commander, but what Nelson brings to the table, better HE, and also running with scissors. Now, people are probably end up screaming at you, well, why are you running with scissors? Well, look at the stats. You get anything with 8 kilometers of range, you're getting a buff to. So, also getting that big buff to the fire setting chance too. Now the advantage with also Nelson, you've got extreme domain debates because this one you're getting a big penalty to armor penetration. But you can also turn the other side of it. Well, if you've got a ship which has got 47% chance to set fires, do you really need to be using AP? Just chucking it out there when you got such a big chance of setting fires? You can just lob HE all the time and very rarely use the AP. It's not saying you're not going to sleep on it, because obviously you've got cruisers, they need to be touched with AP, but you can do it like that. Let's see what we got here then. Now you instantly notice that you got a bit of an issue there compared to Fisher. Your reloads, your main battery's gone 18.4 as opposed to getting it towards close to 20 kilometers. You can already buff that up a little bit for battle booster. Reloads jumped up by a couple of seconds. But this is where it gets good. Your maximum HE is now gone to 7,540 with a fire assistant chance of 47 seconds. That's 47 seconds. Sorry, got that wrong. 47%. Excuse me a moment. So you can see that's a big improvement. So let's go to the movability side of things. This is where it gets a bit silly, doesn't it? 6.8 rudder shift. 6.8 rudder shift with 850 turning. So, you destroy players out there, if you think you're going to torpedo the ship, think again, because if you see those torpedoes coming, we are just going to move straight out the way of it. So let's compare this to American's finest, shall we? A lot of the guys over the pond aren't going to like me for this, but I don't care. Okay, Arbor. What can the Arbor do best? 14.6 rudder shift compared to 6.8, ladies and gentlemen. That's the best it can offer. Really? with a turning circle of a super tanker of 920 meters. If someone freaking puts torpedoes in this, you ain't got an open hell chance. And same with any incoming fire too, you're not going to get out of the way. You're going to. That's why I do not like the Ira at all. It's an absolute floating turd of sadness. I cannot stand that ship at all. Sorry, but it's not me at all. I've tried every single command I put on it. No, not for me. Give me my Vanguard any day of the week. So going back to the good old Vanguard. Some people don't like it, but I love it. So, using Alfuso and Sharnos there. And no way you could do it too. Exactly the same setup, but now we're going to be speccing into the HC damage with, don't ask me how to pronounce this bloody French commander, but we'll call him Dufont. You see all the numbers down there, we've got them all maxed out. Reset 3, get it right for you. Don't want to end up telling you duff information. So now you're getting close to nearly 8,000 damage in UHC. Now all the builds I've just showed you can all be just not used on the Vanguard. Try them all out on the British ships line per se. Mainly the ones you're going to be using with regards to UHC builds. Okay. We know that the Vanguard's got good AP. Don't sleep on it. But when you got this much power to HE guns, I always try and say use actually primary. Yeah. I did used to try it out with Cunningham, but with now with the generic commanders with Cunningham, they only drop you down to 2 heals, rather than the commanders I recommend you with 4 heals. Unless you haven't got any of these other commanders, I would recommend him. Well, sorry, don't recommend. Gosh, get me teeth. Don't use Cunningham if you got all the Aslane ones. Only use him if you've that's all you got. And don't go out with the saying on the seas with Charles Madden unless you get in the fancy taking it in the rank battles with Balling. Same with Queen Elizabeth. You lose all your accuracy. You got to have the ship being accurate. Now, we've gone over 2 builds. There's 1 left. I'm thinking, really? Let's have a look. Another one I use on the British ships is Hood. So, 2 ways of playing it. Cunningham is how I put it as an inspiration to bring in that accuracy. There's no need of me to go all over this because that's just basically a standard battleship build. Landable cannoneer, turret and drill bits, marksmanship, mass mechanic, and then we going in with running with scissors again with Bolty. Now you could take Cunningham out, which I might well do actually, and put Sharnor's commander in. Because so you get a penalty to dispersion when you use the running with scissors. Yeah, so it makes your shells like accurate. So you put Sharnor's commander in and it takes that minus out. But what does this do to your other shift? Let's have a look. .3 rudder shift. Now, you now got a Vanguard who's just turning as fast as a cruiser. Yeah, I'll take that, definitely. His top speed's down to 27.9, so he's not there because we're using turret and dual bits. It's still not too shabby. It's up there. You put a bit, a battle booster on there, you'll be going at a reasonable pace of knots. So that's that. Ooh, what else do we use? So you could do it this way as well. Sharnos with Gerard. So that's your AP. So as I say, go down to here. Running with scissors gives you all the plus and on you as soon as you get within that 8k range. And as soon as you do get in there with your AP, if you decide this is what AP build you want to use, that's what I use regards to hood. It gives a little bit more punch to your AP. This is like sort of my AP build of the Vanguard. And then, if you're going into a rank battle, stick hood on. I say, well, why do you want hood on? Let's have a look. Ooh, and I clicked on all the wrong buttons. Well, we got torpedo charmer. And I haven't put the other inspiration in there, look at the twat. Let's go and put that one to be correct that. Let's put Cunningham on there. Right, so sorry about that. Made a mistake myself there. Right, so we're going into the Littorio. Making the right pigs here, isn't I? Right, there we go. So as we're trying to say, Sharnor's commander with Littorio. So you get a -10 with the torpedo charmer, and then you get another -9.5 with Littorio. So what I'm trying to say is, you get in a ranked battle and you know you're going to get torpedoed a lot. This is another one I use. Sometimes I also use this with the Rodney in rank, because you know you're going to get torpedoes encountered in that. So highly recommended using this in rank. So there you are. That's my 3 builds for the Vanguard, and you also use them on the other ships as well on the British line. So if you find that useful, I hope you do, and we'll see you on the high seas with those builds of the Vanguard. And that's all for me. If you like it, subscribe it, and we'll see you again.